Welcome back. We're on our third episode of Troll in the Dungeon. And we're pretty much sticking with that title, I'm pretty sure. I'm your host, Stephen Gosensky. It is an awesome honor, opportunity, and privilege to speak with you this fine day. Today I'm going to do my first movie review. Yay! Today I'm going to review the latest in the Terminator franchise. Yes, I will be giving my thoughts on Terminator Dark Fate. I'll try to keep this spoiler-free, but no promises. So, we finally got Linda Hamilton to return back to this franchise. It is rumored that she turned down appearing in the previous films in the franchise because she didn't really care for the script. We have seen all those films now. Do we blame her? I don't. Not one bloody bit. The film stars Linda Hamilton, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Diego Luna, and others. James Cameron returns to produce, and he is credited as a story writer of the film. He hasn't done anything with the films since Terminator 2. Now he is credited with creating the characters, but he hasn't really done much more than that since Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This film was directed by Tim Miller, who directed the first Deadpool film, which I'm very fond of that movie. I was pretty cautious about seeing this movie. I'd been hurt by this franchise before. I actually was going to wait until it popped up in a second run theater to see it, but even though the marketing campaign was kind of a roller coaster, it had some great trailers, it had some crappy trailers, it had some weird stuff going on, but I saw the potential. There were solid narratives established in the trailer. It didn't depend on nostalgia to a great degree. It showed Arnie, it showed Linda, and the classic Terminator head. That's all you need to do with a good trailer. Alright, just show a couple of things and then just focus on the narrative. Good, done, no more. Don't do any more than that. Okay? Just for you trailer cutting people out there, just so you know. So we see the Terminator is trying to kill someone. That person needs to be protected. The machine is dangerous and needs not only the enhanced girl and Sarah Connor, we need Arnie to help beat the new machine. Okay, we got it. Cool. We're good to go. We have a pretty good idea what this movie's about. We have a pretty good idea what direction this movie's going to be. Okay, cool. Now you're probably thinking, all right, man, what did you think? Do you want to know? Do you really want to know? Are you sure? Of course you're sure. You're watching this video, so you actually want to know what I actually think. I didn't mind it. I actually enjoyed the movie. Just so you know, I got to go into a franchise film with the hope that it's better than the worst film in the franchise. That's how my mind works. So in this case, the film that doesn't know how to spell which I consider the worst film, the franchise Terminator Genesis. And apparently they don't know how to spell because they don't spell Genesis properly. I don't know what they were thinking there. In that film, it turned against the franchise that had already been established and basically made John Connor, who was the hero originally in the franchise, the bad guy who betrayed humanity to Skynet. It was bizarre. It tried to undo the whole Terminator saga. I mean, I get that you have to do a reboot, but don't screw over. I get where you try to tell a new story, but honor the original films. Don't go over there and, just squat down and crap on it, okay? Please, can we not? That would be awesome. This film, Terminator 2, did stop Judgment Day. Skynet did not destroy humanity. It stopped Skynet from destroying mankind. Okay, cool. But as always, humans are dumb and want to create machines to protect us because they're too frickin' lazy. So, the baddie in this film is not Skynet. It's Legion, which is basically the same thing. It's Skynet with a different label. Because we still have the Terminators. The Terminators are of a similar design. The heads look the same, and maybe Hollywood doesn't have any new production design ideas. Or maybe they just wanted to create a brand and stick to it, which is fine. It's fine. It's okay. This film is a fun ride. It is very female-centric. Some people accuse it of emasculating Arnold and stuff like that. I did not see that in this film. Maybe I'll see it on a second viewing. We'll see. But it originally, in the first Terminator, back in the 80s, Sarah Connor was a very frightened girl who didn't know anything about even how to load a shotgun into this battle-hardened badass in this movie. She grew from the first Terminator to Terminator 2, and she's a lot more ruthless in this movie. There is another heroine besides Sarah Connor called Grace, who she is from the future. She's an augment, which is they put some machine in her after she was injured in combat in the future, so she can go for these quick, short bursts of energy to fight the machines. This has some drawbacks, of course, so she's not an ultimate human being, and she has some energy flow problems. So she needs some recharging. We get to Arnie pretty late in the film. It's a little after the first hour of the movie. Arnie is still got it. He has some great moments. Some of his lines in the movie, I almost fell out of my seat laughing so hard. And that's the good way. It's supposed to be funny. It's not just, oh, it's really pathetic. No. It was genuinely meant to be humorous, and it did its job. He has really embraced this role, and he's milked it for all it's worth, and hey, it's made him a lot of money. So, do we blame him? As an actor, I can say, no, I don't blame him. Linda Hamilton was awesome in this movie as well. I think she had a really solid performance in this movie, and a lot of the new actors were really good too. Mackenzie Davis, who plays Grace, was really solid. Let's talk about the story. Is it a paint-by-numbers Terminator film? Yeah. It added some spice with the original characters being popped in. But yeah, it's a pretty paint-by-numbers movie, and that's fine. The last couple of films try to get away from the main Terminator films. I don't mind them trying different things, but two things: you should honor the previous installments and didn't go over and crap on the previous films or the characters in them and pretty much rewrite stuff. Yes, I'm still talking about Genesis or whatever the heck they're supposed to be, because I can't spell! Look, with the way the franchise had been going, I think it was smart to go back to basics. It helps make it easier to swallow for the audience. It made some changes to the story without destroying the narrative of the first two films. I won't say how, because it'll spoil a few things in this movie. It had some weaknesses and made it a tad confusing. Maybe a second viewing of the film would tighten some of those loose ends for me. There have been some questions about a sequel or even a trilogy with these new characters. I'm not going to lie, I'd be open to it. If they make more of these films and did them well, hopefully they would improve upon what is a pretty solid foundation put in by this movie. But do it because the narrative works for it. Don't do sequels for the sake of sequels. But the likeliness is pretty low. The box office for this film, it's not looking good. They're going to lose money on this movie. I'm feeling for Paramount right now because they're looking at, according to the latest projections that I heard, they're possibly going to lose up to $100 million. So they're taking a little bit of a bath, and they hadn't been doing well lately. So it's not like Paramount's going to close its doors. It's been around forever, but it's not doing too hot right now. And if this film is the last one in the Terminator franchise, it ends. Life goes on. And that's okay. We can enjoy the films, at least the good ones. So if there's only 3 of those out of 6, I'll take the 3. That's alright. And then we can look at those other 3 and learn what not to do. This would be good for your... So film professors, if you're watching this, you could watch those for your class and be like, okay, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. And definitely don't do that. and you can grab that Genesis or whatever, and you can show them exactly what to do with that. Drop it in the trash can, light it on fire, and see if it'll explode. And shoot it a couple of times, just to be sure that it's dead, okay? That's my best suggestion for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is Stephen Gosensky signing off. Be bold, be brave, be courageous, and come with me if you want to live. And if you don't worry, because I'll be back.